What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Picks and Roll DFS. Before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe. It really helps us keep the heaters rolling. Also, quick shout out to Pikkit and Outlier, two of the best tools out there to track bets and find edges. Links are down below. Now, let's talk about last night. Suzuki ended up voided, which means we went 2-0 on the other picks. And we've been on an absolute heater so far this September on the free plays. Let's keep it moving today with 3 spots I really like across MLB and college football. Our first play is going to be Drew Rasmussen going under 5.5 hits allowed. As we can see from the data, he has been absolutely dialed in this season. Overall, out of 28 games, he's gone below this line 25 times for 89% rate. In those games, he is only averaging 3.8 hits with a median of 4. If you look at this, he only has those 3 games of 6, 6, and 7 where he's allowed more than 5.5 hits allowed. Also, if we look at how Chicago has done versus right-handed pitchers, we can see that they have been struggling. They're a bit shaky there, and that's why I like him to stay on the under. Additionally, if we look at the lines, we can see that this play is not available many places, which gives us a sign. A lot of places don't want you to play this. We can see Hard Rock at minus 170. We can see Underdog at minus 200. Take advantage of this line while it's still available. Before we go into the next play, just a quick reminder. Betr's got a promo right now where you can get a free $10 just for signing up. Plus, a 50% deposit match up to $200 when you use code DIME. Plus, if you send me a screenshot to picksandrolldfs@gmail.com, you'll get a free month inside of my Winnable where I'll send you plays directly to your phone every day. All right, our next play is going to be Dylan Bell going higher than 1.5 receptions versus Tennessee. Now, the first thing we want to note, of course, is that Georgia does prefer to run the ball more than they pass. That is a key stat to keep in mind, but the benefit of this play here is that the line is so low. We only need Dylan Bell to get 2 receptions. And we can see from the insight that Dylan Bell has exceeded 1.5 receptions in 10 of his last 12 games, averaging 3 in that span. We can also see that Tennessee has been ranked 101 in terms of their defense in regards to receptions allowed, averaging 21 per game, which is, as you see with this green, favorable for us. We can also see, in terms of line comparison, that FanDuel at minus 156, DraftKings at minus 171, Hard Rock Bet at minus 185 all agree that Dylan Bell has extremely high probability of going higher on this 1.5 receptions. Plus, if we look at last year's data, he went above this line 85%, cashing 11 out of 13 games with an average of 3 and a median of 4 in that time span. Then this year, we can see he's going 50% so far, cashing his previous game and just below in his first. Then we can look at the last 10, which shows he's cashed this line 8 out of 10 games, going as high as 5 in some and 6, but having an average overall of 2.8 and a median of 2.5, which is why I like this play of Dylan Bell going higher than 1.5 receptions. Now today, or yesterday I should say, we got that sweep. 2-0. Imagine what we are doing in our winnable. In yesterday's video, we didn't sweep, but I showed everyone that this is what happened in our premium. We get a complete sweep of our 7 plays. As you see here, easy cash. And you can build your roll just like that if you join the VIP winnable account for Picks and Roll DFS. That's where the real money's being made. Links in the description if you want in. Let's play for today is going to be Malachi Fields going higher than 2.5 receptions versus Texas A&M. Now, if we look at his last 10, similar to Dylan Bell, he's cashed this line 8 out of his 10 last games for an 80% rate, averaging 3.8, nearly 4 receptions in that span, and a median of 3.5. If we look at last year, similar data. We can see a consistent pattern here as he's cashed this line 10 out of 12 games for an 83% rate with a higher average here of 4.5 and a median of 4. And then this season, only one example, one game, but we can see that he cashed, going just above that line with 3 receptions. We can also look at Texas A&M's reception defense, as we can see they're ranked 75th so far this season, allowing around 18.5 receptions per game. We can see that he is going to get targeted at least 3 games if we compare this to the first game of the season. And we can also see through the insights that not only has he exceeded 2.5 receptions in 10 of his last games with an average of 4, but we can also see that Notre Dame is a primarily pass team, which emphasizes the possibility and the probability of him going above this line, which is why I like Malachi Fields going higher than 2.5 receptions. So that's today's 3-pack. Rasmussen under 5.5 hits allowed. Dylan Bell higher than 1.5 receptions. And Malachi Fields going higher than 2.5 receptions. Let's keep this heater alive. Again, quick reminder, Betr also has a Justin Jefferson free square for new users. He just needs 1 receiving yard to cash. Pair that up with today's plays, and as always, let's build that roll. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys back here Sunday for the WNBA playoffs.